Hello, my most amazing art students. So today we're going to work on painting our jungle landscapes, our Rousseau inspired jungle landscapes. And I'm going to start with my sky just to get it out of the way. Okay. Now I'm looking at my palette right now and realizing I don't have a whole lot of clean space. But remember what I said about watercolor. You have to use water with watercolor. We don't want to have solid paint. We want to make sure we're using enough water to get the paint to move. All right. Just like that. I'll even get some just plain water, dipping it. And there's still quite a bit of pigment on the paper. And how you move your brush affects what the paint looks like on the paper. If I was just to scrub and go around in a circle instead of dragging the paint down, it would not look as smooth. Okay, so how you paint your paint, put your paint on your paper affects how it looks. And I'm going to just add a little bit more sky in between some of these leaves. And I might add some greens in over the top later if I don't want so much sky showing. Because I think definitely down here it would be green, like jungle floor green. So we definitely don't want to add too much. Ooh, that's so dark. And I don't want it to be that. So what I do to make it not so dark is I'll move the paint around on my paper and use some of it up. And then I'll go back to that darker area and I'll pull some of that paint out of there so that it's not so dark. Okay. I think definitely under our cheetah is probably going to be jungle too. I'm going to drag my paintbrush straight to get rid of some of these puddles. Pull some of that, rinse my brush. Pull some of that dark blue out of there. Okay, so now my sky is done. I'm going to go ahead and start with my greens. And you can mix different greens but just by mixing a little bit of blue in your green, a little bit of yellow to make a yellow green, and you're going to paint right over the top of that crayon. You're not trying to not touch the crayon. You're just going to paint right over the top of it. I'm going to mix that, get that bluish green in there. There we go. And I am going to try to paint like the leaves that are the same leaves, the same color. Okay. And then I'll go and I'll mix maybe a little bit different color green for different leaves. This one, an olivey green. And even this one, really yellowish green for these leaves. Covering that. Normally, I think we use liquid watercolors on this project, but since we're still at home, working from home, you can even make your own watercolors with food coloring. You can try mixing up different tints or different shades of or values of green or yellow. That. You can even mix a little bit of purple in with the blue and the green to get like a even darker green. Maybe that's what I'll use over here on this big spiky plant that I made. Oh yeah, I like that. It's kind of got that blue shadowy tint to it. And then we've got this lovely one that has these little bumps on it. We're going to paint over that. Then I might go up here and paint these guys. So you guys get the idea of how we're going to paint all of these jungle things. Now, I might take some of this color I've created and go and create a green color in the background here, because we know that this is still the jungle floor and that it's going to be green back in here. You kind of want it to be a little bit different green than what you have already around, so that the other greens stand out, so that it's not all one color of green or one shade of green, I guess I could say. Go into that and creating that yellowy green color in here. Look at that. I am going to use some of this blue green that I've created and just paint over this whole area. Maybe I'll make it a little bit darker green. And I'm going to drag that pigment up the paper. And then paint these guys. On the bottom here, I'm going to use this brown color that I already have on and just go over. Over this bottom area. I colored in with that peach tone. And the rock, get that rock filled in. It's nice that I use the gray on the rock so that it's not just a solid brown color. And then get some of this green in there to fill in that little bit there. Definitely going to come in and paint these leaves here. And the stem. And don't forget that we made these leaves. I don't know if you did or not, but I did. So I got to paint those guys. And I still haven't painted my trees up top, but I'm going to use my brown and paint my tree trunk here. It's okay if you go a little bit outside the lines. That's kind of how watercolor can be. It can be kind of a little bit looser. Paint over the brown stems that you've drawn. There we go. And then my big orange flower. Haven't used orange yet. I'm going to paint orange towards the center, all in the middle there. And then I'm going to go in with my yellow. I'm going to have to clean my yellow out because it's a bit green. I'm almost out of yellow. I think that my students are coming, so I got to finish this up. So it's still kind of green, but it's okay. Go and do the tips of your orange flower with yellow. So I'm mixing the colors even on the plant. Okay, and I'll do a purple And now my phone's ringing. All right, guys. So that's an idea. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.